Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. You got a question for RLN? Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. Well, if you're just listening to the show for the first time, you're probably wondering, what the hell is Reality Spirituality? Well, I'm glad you asked, because luckily for you, I know the answer. Reality Spirituality is a term that I use to describe everyday life experiences and the link to spirituality. Reality Spirituality dissects our everyday life experiences down to the least common denominator to reveal why we're not as happy as we could be. Reality Spirituality is not a religion. It's a guideline to living connected to source energy. Source energy is the most powerful energy in the universe. Some people call it God, some people call it Buddha, some people call it Jehovah. But when you live connected to it, you feel powerful, joyful, loving, light, happy, excited, peaceful, content, grateful. The list of good emotions just goes on and on. They're endless. And when you live connected to source energy, or the same as the universe, when you live connected, there are no other emotions you're going to experience other than the good emotions. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, no matter what happens, you are going to feel good. Impossible, it sounds? It's not impossible. I'm living proof. But let me tell you something. When you disconnect from source energy, your emotions are limited to sadness, irritation, resentment, aggravation, revenge, moodiness, controlling, anger, rage, hopelessness. So who would want to live disconnected? There are a lot of you out there. The interesting thing is, each of us has a unique relationship with Source. We have a unique relationship with the universe. It's an individual relationship. And remember, we are all as different as our fingerprints. What works for you is not going to work for me. What works for me is not going to work for you. That's the key. You have an individual relationship with the universe. Before I go on, I want to invite you to be a part of the show with whatever issue or whatever challenge you might be going through. So call in with a question or call in with a situation. I'm going to put you on a path to a happier life. The number is 646-564-9619. And you know what I'm going to do, too? I'm going to open up the chat line. So people that are listening, you can chat with you can ask me a question over the chat line if you're a little shy to call in. But the chat line is open. Feel free. Now, I'm going to let you in on one of the biggest secrets that not too many people know. And not too many people live. and even fewer teach it. How's that for an advertisement for myself? Shh. Don't tell anybody unless you want them to be happier too. But one of the biggest secrets to being happy depends on your response to everything, your response to anything. Your response. And your response, guess what? Your response is your choice. You can choose to get news, oh, my check bounced, and you can be pissed off about it, or you can just flow with it. You have that choice. So let me say something. Happiness is a choice. Is a choice that you make every minute of every day. You have a choice. Just like your emotions. Did you know that your emotions are a choice too? I mean, I know we've been taught that, okay, the economy is bad. I'm going to feel pretty depressed about it, or I'm going to complain about it, or I'm going to talk about it. It's your choice. But this is the key. We all are set. First of all, we all are energy. Everything that you see, everything that you experience is energy. And you, my dear listeners, are energy also. And so what happens is energy has vibration. So we all vibrate at a certain frequency. And whatever you vibrate at is what you're going to attract. It's like listening to the radio and deciding what channel you want to listen to. Do you want to listen to country? You want to listen to classical? You want to listen to the news? You want to listen to talk radio? You want to listen to me? Of course you do. But we have a choice. We have a choice to set our vibration, set our frequency, and this is the key, because when you set your vibration, that's exactly what you're going to attract. So if you're complaining, or if you're frustrated, or if you, I love, my mother likes to say this word, ticked off, or if you're ticked off, guess what? You are going to get more of that. You're going to get more of it. Who wants to live like that? Am I yelling at you all? Sorry for yelling. But I'm so passionate about it because I was tired of always being mad, of always having something come up, of always complaining, of always finding something wrong with somebody else. It wore out. I got to a point in my life where I just want to be freaking happy. And so the interesting thing is when you want something bad enough, you set your vibration for that. Guess what? It comes to you. It comes to you. Whatever you set your vibration comes to you. Now, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? I think that's exciting because you can attract. Oh! Thank you, audience. Thank you. Oh, look I have a whole room full of people. Thank you so much. Thank you for agreeing with me. You have the choice. Today's topic is a really good one. It's about addiction. It's not about drug addiction, alcohol addiction, food addiction, shopping addiction. No. That's been played out. No, this is about something that no one talks about except for me. But guess what? I'm going to leave you hanging with that because before we get to what that addiction is, I got a story for you. Take a deep breath with me. And I want you to go on this trip with me. Because at the end of the story, I do have a point, trust me. I do have a point. Okay. Imagine you live alone. And you're living in a relatively crime-free neighborhood. And your sense of security is justified. Now I want you really to put yourself in this position, okay? Listen. You've always felt safe in your home, and there's never been a reason not to. Until tonight. It's 2 a.m. on a Friday night. You're sound asleep, unaware of the danger you're about to face. Quietly, an eerie stranger enters your home through a backyard window that you usually keep open. You're a sound sleeper, and you don't hear the window being forced open. And you don't hear the rubber shoes. You don't hear the rubber shoes entering your home. This stranger is holding a small flashlight, and he's searching through each of the rooms, collecting items that he thinks are valuable. Basically, he's in your house to rob you. He eventually arrives at your bedroom door. He enters as quietly as he can because he sees you in there sleeping. The bedroom is where we usually keep our most valuable possessions. You are no exception. Unfortunately, your jewelry box is located right next to your nightstand on your bed. Now the stranger is looking through your jewelry box. He's grabbing your jewelry, putting it in his pocket, hoping that you don't wake up. But guess what? You have a sixth sense. We all have a sixth sense. And you're awakened. Your eyes are opening really slow, and you're feeling really uneasy. And immediately, this burglar realizes that you're waking up. Well, this isn't good for you or him. And just as quickly as he realizes that you're waking up, you realize that you have somebody else in your house. Jesus! What are you going to do? You're flooded with emotions. You don't know whether you're going to scream. You don't know if you're going to. You don't know what. But you feel shock and you feel terror. But your voice, you can't scream. Your voice is gone. This burglar snatches the pillow right from under your head, and he begins to use it as a deadly weapon against you. He covers your face instantly with such force, and you're not able to stop him. So instinctively, you grab for his arms, you start throwing him off, you try to hit him, but he's stronger, a lot stronger. You try to hit him with your fist, but to no avail. Unfortunately, the hole that he has on this pillow, he is not budging. So now you start to panic. And the more you struggle, the weaker you become. You're literally fighting for your life. You're fighting to breathe. Because without breath, you're going to die. Okay, take a break. Take a breath. Wake up from your trance. You're safe. You're on the radio. You're listening to me. The story is over. What's my point? What I'm trying to help you to understand is This urgent need to breathe, this need for survival, I would like you to feel the same way. The need to survive, the need to be happy. I want you to feel just as passionate about being happy. With that same urgency, with that same desire, with that same, like your life depended on it. And you know why I want you to feel like that? When you do, when you put happiness as a priority, your life begins to change. Miracles start happening. You feel calm. You begin to relax. You begin to trust that everything that happens to you is in divine order, and everything that happens to you is for your betterment. And more importantly, you're setting your personal vibrations for even more happiness. So these toxic emotions, anger, irritation, fear, sadness, resentment, jealousy, rage, loneliness, hatred, shame, blame, all of those emotions lose their power. And eventually, they cease to exist in your life. Does that sound too good to be true? I'm living proof. There is a formula that I put up, that I created for happiness. And that formula is very simple. The first element is commitment. You have to be committed. You have to put that as number one on your list. The second element is patience. Oh, my goodness. I want this now. No delayed gratification here. I want this now. No. Patience. You need to be patient. Just like a fine wine. Does anybody know a good wine is 2012? January 2012? No. The best wines are aged. So patience is very important. And the next element, because there's three elements here, the next element is trust. You have to trust that this will happen. And I'm telling you that it will. So you make a commitment, you're patient, you trust, and guess what? Happiness. Now, there are 3 rules I'm going to have to share with you. 3 rules. 3 rules. Not a lot, because the universe really doesn't like a lot of rules, but these rules are mandatory. Rule number 1. Your happiness is your responsibility. What? Your happiness is your responsibility. Not the stock market, not your bank account, not your boyfriend, not your wife, not your husband, not your children. Your happiness is your responsibility. Number 2, you have to be open and you have to be willing to embrace new thoughts and new ideas. New thoughts, new ideas, not the same things we've been doing last week, not what we did yesterday, not what we did last year. New, today, new thoughts. When is the last time you've had a new thought? Or are they all recycled? Now, I'm not trying to get down on you. I'm just asking you the question. And number 3, you cannot blame anybody or anything or any event for your unhappiness. That's not allowed. So, number one, your happiness is your responsibility. Number two, you have to be willing to accept new ideas, new ways of living, new behavior. And number three, you can't blame anybody for anything. Now, we are going to take a quick break, and I have a couple of callers, and I'm going to get right back to the show. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and I will answer your questions as soon as we come back.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. You got a question for RLN? Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Get real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, I've got a caller, and let's see. Here we go. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, is that me?
That's you.
My name is Hugh. I'm in Virginia.
Your name is Teal?
No, Hugh, H-U-G-H.
Okay, H-E-G-S.
No,
H-E-G-S.
Hugh. Like Hugh Hefner, Hugh O'Brien, those guys.
Oh, okay. Hugh. Okay, hello,
Right.
Hugh, and welcome to Reality Spirituality. What's going on?
I just came upon your show. It's lovely, and thank you for putting out some more positivity, which we all need a great deal more of in today's day and age. And I have a little slogan that I came across related to happiness that you might enjoy. It's happiness is like jam. You spread it around, and you can't help but get some on yourself.
Oh, I love that, Hugh. Thank you.
Yes, and I would like to share a blog with you. I'd love to speak with you off air sometime, and I'm working on a very big mission and vision of bringing spirituality into global economics and combining it with unconditional love.
Okay. Well, I like that, but let me ask you this.
Sure.
I would like you to do something for me.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a situation or a incident or an event that you really weren't happy about.
Well, I have a few coming out that are unbelievable. One is going to someday be a blockbuster movie, but it's too long to say. But it's simply put, when you
well, Hugh.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you.
All right.
I love what you're doing, and I love that you have this project, and I love that we're on the same page. But my purpose is to help you personally with something that you're going through, with something that maybe you've hit a wall. Or when was the last time you were angry at something? Can you help me with that?
I get upset when people disrespect what I'm all about and take advantage of me, but it quickly passes because I know there's karma coming back to them for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgive.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So give me. So you said you get upset when people quote disrespect you.
Right.
Okay. When specifically was it that somebody disrespected? Can you give a little bit more detail? I mean, when specifically? What was it about? And when was it? And can you help me with that?
Yeah, I'm going through a paranormal situation where I came across a beautiful spiritual teacher who I never met, who had a radio program and said she was holding a place of unconditional love in her heart for mankind. My wife taught me that lesson. She passed about 5 years ago after 35 and a half years of marriage. So I extended my unconditional love to this woman. We were having telephone conversations. We mirrored each other unbelievably. But behind the scenes, her life was a total mess. She had yeah, so it was sort of, I didn't realize it until down the road I started getting a beat on her traits. It turns out I'm dealing with a full-blown narcissist, a psychic vampire who's taking advantage of me. And
okay. I hear what you're saying. So
right.
So you were speaking with a woman, and she turned out to be something different than what you thought.
Well, yes, and I still was hoping that through interacting with her, I could do wonderful things to bless mankind, but she turned in a vicious way when I caught on to what she was doing.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm going to talk about that right now. Number one, everybody is following their own path. And everybody has their own journey. And when we look at somebody else and point our finger at what they're doing wrong, or point our finger and say that, I think you used the word vicious, and I think you used the word vampire.
Right.
And you are blaming her for the situation because it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, correct?
No, I'm blaming her because she took something that was not given to her in the way she took it from me, and also that she threatened me with slander lawsuits, which I backed her right off of by saying it's your own words out of your own mouth on your own radio show. She ran away.
Okay. Well, let me just share something with you, and I'm going to take you off air right now, but let me just share something with you. Blaming somebody else for blaming someone else for anything only leads to unhappiness. This is going to be a really hard pill to swallow for a lot of you. It was for me, believe me. I choked on it a few times. I choked on it. But do you know that whatever happens to you, and I'm going to use Hugh as an example, you've got to be able to look in the mirror and you've got to be able to look in the mirror and say, everything, I'm telling you, this is a hard pill. So you people can get a glass of water, because this is not going to go down too smooth. Everything. Let me talk about myself. Everything that has happened to me that I'm going to label, it was a catastrophe. It was a disaster. Oh, how horrible. Everything that happens, number one, I've attracted it to me. Number one, I've attracted it to me. Number two, I created it. I created it. I'm going to share a story. I have so many stories, just which was going to be the best one. But everything that happens to me, I know that I've attracted. So it's not about this person did this to me, this person is vicious, this person is about. It's not about that. How did you bring this person in so close? How did you allow this person to get so close that something could happen. I am not into blaming. I can't. Because if I'm really honest with myself, there are signs. If I'm really honest, I'll tell you a story. I won't even say the name. I have a great relationship. You know what? I'm just going to say it's a person. I'm not even going to say who it is. I have a great relationship with this man that I've known. Oh man, 80, 90, over 30, say 35 years. Great guy. And he has an issue with a woman at work. She's petty. Okay, when I say at work, she's in charge of the desk, so she's in charge of dispatching jobs. And he has a problem with her because he doesn't like her personality. She's rude. She has favorites. The list goes on. And he called me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with her? Why is she like this? This was a killer. It was a Christmas time, and everybody got a Christmas bonus. And this particular woman opened up the envelope and looked at his Christmas bonus, and he was very upset over it. Isn't that unethical? So I'm listening to him complaining about her. I said, you want to solve the problem, or you want to complain about the problem? And I've talked to him about it at least 3 times. And the reason why I talk to him so much is because 35 years, he's like family to me. He is family. But for whatever reason, he could not get that he participated and is participating in this struggle. If you have a struggle with someone, guess what? You can either struggle or you can surrender. Because when you surrender, guess what happens? There is no struggle. I am not into struggling. I'm not into arguing. I'm not into going back and forth. I'm into surrendering. Why am I going to have a struggle with someone and that is going to just bring my vibration down? It's going to make me unhappy. See, it's not about the other person. It's never about the other person. It's always about us. Now, what could he have done? What could he do? And I mentioned it. I said, listen, do you like this woman? No, I don't like her. Well, with that energy, guess what? I don't like her. He doesn't have to like her. But the struggle that he has with her, seeing her every day and having to work with her and having to interact with her, you can go in there, you can go into the office every day pissed off and back and forth, or you can let it go. Letting it go is very, very difficult. But remember when I started the show and I was telling you about happiness, some people would rather struggle. Some people would rather complain. Some people would rather blame. Because let me tell you something. If I blame anybody else for anything, guess what happens to my happiness? Do you think I'm happy blaming anybody for anything? Do you think I'm happy calling anybody a name? Do you think I'm happy? Do you think I would be happy talking about someone in a negative way? The answer is, and it's 2 words, hell no. No. My happiness is my priority, so I am not going to talk about anyone in a negative fashion. And on that same subject, when you say anything negative about anyone, guess what? It's a form of gossip. I mean, unless you want to say it to their face, but usually people don't say negative things to other people's face. They got that down. If they have something to say bad about somebody else, I guarantee you that person is not in the room usually. But talking about somebody else you're attracting that vibration of talking about someone else, and that is a form of, this is a hard word, violence. Violence on your soul, not on them. Nothing happens to them when you're talking bad about them, but it's a form of violence to your soul. And it's pretty difficult to do. I mean, every day there is an internal struggle because let's say I used to. Oh, I could talk about my supervisor, my coworkers, my mother, my anybody on the street, the cashier. I could do that easy. It's easy to do, but what am I doing? I'm basically attracting bad energy to myself. It's self-destructive behavior. Self-destructive behavior. We are going to take one more quick break, and we're going to come back, and I am going to hit on the topic of the addiction that nobody wants to talk about. We're just going to be gone for about 30 seconds. Come back.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. You got a question for RLN? Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
And we are back. You know, I get on a roll, and I almost forgot the topic. But this is the topic, and this is the addiction. Are you ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. The addiction, it's not food, it's not drink, it's not drugs, it's not sex. No. Let me say this. Let me cut off the we. I was addicted to, you ready? I was addicted to feeling bad. Addicted to feeling bad. How crazy is that? I have everything I could possibly want. I mean I'm healthy. I have a home. I had a husband. Don't have no mo, but that's okay. We're very good friends. I always found a reason to feel bad about something. Now, when I start talking about, you know what, before I go on, let me invite you to call in also. 646. Oh, geez, I need to put on my glasses. Hold on. 646-564-9619. 646-564-9619. Feeling bad. When you're so fortunate to have health, and let me say something else. It's not even about being healthy, because when I say healthy, I mean some people are in wheelchairs and some people have debilitating diseases, and they're still happy. So it's this feeling of no appreciation. Not only no appreciation, but the focus isn't on what you have. The focus is on what you can complain about, or the focus is on who you can blame. I was married for a while, and I would blame this wonderful man for my unhappiness, because I was used to putting it on somebody else. This addiction of feeling bad, think about it. Can you imagine a life where every moment of every day that you feel good? Can you really imagine that? Do you think that's possible? It's either yes or no. It is possible. I found that it is possible. But I was in this spiral. I was in this circular. Gotta feel bad about something. Gotta feel bad about the way I look. Gotta feel bad about the weight I gained. Gotta feel bad about, I had those French fries. I feel horrible. Gotta feel bad about the extra flights. Gotta feel bad that I don't have. Gotta feel bad about something. Gotta feel bad I got hair. Gotta feel bad about losing a job. Gotta feel bad about not having money in my bank account. That's a choice. And let me tell you something. I switched that up with feeling bad, and I changed it to feeling grateful. Because listen, you can't feel bad and grateful at the same time. You're going to have to choose. You choose, and life is all about choices. So if you feel bad about anything, then I guarantee you're not feeling grateful. Why would you choose to feel bad? Because it's an addiction that we don't even realize that we have. We don't even realize that we think that's normal. I used to think it was normal. It's normal to feel bad? That doesn't even make any sense to me. But no one teaches us this. One of my favorites is watch what you're eating. Oh, not exercising. I've had surgery on both of my knees, and so almost for a year I haven't been able to exercise. Oh, did I feel bad about that? I've gained weight. Oh, I feel bad about that. Oh, I'm fat. I feel bad. No. Why am I choosing to feel bad? That doesn't make any sense to me. What about you? What about you? Did you even realize that feeling bad is a choice? It's like choosing to drink poison, because that's what it does to your soul. That's what it does to your heart. That's what it does to your it's poison. It's not normal. This is my opinion. It's poison. And we're drinking poison. I'm done with it. I'm done with feeling bad. I gave it up. 12-step program. No. And let me tell you something. I meet a lot of people. I've got a lot of contacts. And it's interesting because people are so used to feeling bad that they think something's wrong with me because I feel good all the time. Something wrong with her. Well, I choose not to drink the poison. Now, if I told you feeling bad was poison, are you going to drink it anyway? Just because you're used to doing it? And remember when we talked about this happiness, and one of the things is you've got to one of the rules is be ready and be open for new ideas and new ways of thinking. This is something new, my dear listeners. This is something new that I'm sharing with you. Raise your hand, and let me say this. This is not going to happen overnight, but just raise your hand if you want to be more mindful of this drinking poison, because it is a choice. Because whatever you do, whatever you choose, number one, you're going to attract it back to you. And number two, so you get more of it. I have really, really enjoyed the show today. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. I'm rooting for a great game. I like both of the teams. But I've got some good news for you. This show, Reality Spirituality, is on 3 times a week. Monday nights, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Sunday at noon. And then Monday, Friday at 7, Sunday at noon, Monday at 7. So with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. And I hope and I know thank you for all of your emails, and thank you for all of your support, and thank you for all the kind words. Reality, Spirituality. This is your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. You got a question for RLN? get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now.